Hey guys, welcome back to another quick form video. In today's video, we're talking about the iPhone SE 3 release date, rumors, specs, price, and 5G and more, guys. So as you guys know, this is the newest iPhone coming out for this year. Of course, I did pick up the iPhone SE 2020, which was, about 2 years ago. Well, about a year and a half ago, give or take. Latest iPhone, so that was pretty decent phone. Like I said, the only issue that I ever had with that phone was the battery life, and maybe the screen size was a little bit smaller than a 6.1 inch or the Pro Max or whatever. But let's get into today's video. This is brought to you by Tom's Guides, so check them out. Really good information. Like I said, I like to bring this information to you guys. Like I said, previous things, I might actually get this phone, but I'll go ahead and skim through the phone article, or should I say this article, and give you my honest opinions and everything. So of course, the iPhone SE 3 is supposed to arrive in a couple months, of course, which is really nice. That's what a lot of people are waiting for. Of course, it's the most budget-friendly iPhone out there. We'll look at the price, but the last model was about $400 or $399.99, which I'm guessing before I even read this article, it's could be around that price. But like I said, this is, of course, like I said, the iPhone SE 2020 was a real popular phone. Actually, it sold out really quick. Even when I pre-ordered mine, it took still about 10 days for me to receive it. So, wow. So let's get into it. It says the iPhone SE 2020 delivers a still powerful A13 Bionic chip in a compact body. While it's feeling a little dated now, it's still a very good phone, and it sure is. It says, but of course, Apple may address the iPhone SE in the coming, pretty coming soon in a couple months. It says rumor points that Apple offering a number of big iPhone SE upgrades highlighted by 5G connectivity and same powerful A15 Bionic chip found in the iPhone 13. Wow. So, like I said, with them bumping up the specs on it, there definitely looks like I'm seeing one problem already, and that's going to be battery life. Like I said, this battery is really small, guys. It's not that big. I think it was like 17 or 1800 milliamps. Batteries maybe in the article tell us. Not too sure what's going to be on the new SE3, but think about it. 5G, if you have 5G overall on any phone, it does use up more battery, and I have noticed that on my phone when you're using 5G. I mean, iPhone will even tell you if you're connected to 5G, it's going to use up more battery. Of course, now it's going to have a more power hungry A15 Bionic chip, even though they say that it's kind of tuned to be battery saving, so who knows. But still, the A15 Bionic chip is really powerful on the iPhone 13, so I can only imagine it going on a small body. So, the way I tell people how an iPhone SE, if you guys know about cars, is almost like an engine swap. So you have a little Miata, you put a V8 in it. That's basically what it is. Says the new chip will likely result not only in better performance but improved photography, longer battery life. So that's what I was telling you about. The A15 is kind of tuned to be battery saving, it's kind of tweaked for it. So that could help, even though the 5G might kind of, 5G connectivity might lower the battery, but the Bionic chip might up it. So it might actually even out a little bit. So who knows? Of course, it's one of the most anticipated phones of 2022, which is correct. I mean, next to the iPhone 14 probably, iOS 15, everything you need to know. It says, unfortunately, Apple seems to be sticking with the same design of the iPhone SE 3 as the current iPhone SE. Even so what it's talking about, guys, if you look at the body, it basically has a body of an iPhone 8. I mean, if you look at it straight up iPhone 8, if you looked at it from far away, I'm like, is that an iPhone 8? But, like I said, Apple, should I say, needs to really improve their design. I mean, they're literally, what they're doing is just reskinning a phone. You know what I mean? It's nothing out of this world that I would say is good or anything. They should at least make the screen a little bit bigger. But it says, even so, the iPhone SE 3 could be a much bigger deal than you think because of the additional 5G and expected power for what should be one of the best cheap phones. That is true now. For $400, guys, you're not even going to find an Android phone that can probably compete with that. Now, like I said, if you're worried about battery life, you probably want to look elsewhere because this phone does have a small battery. So as of January 19, today's January 21st, it says a new report claims that the iPhone SE could come out in April or May. So that's only a couple months. It's almost February. and supposedly passed through Russian certification. Wow. A new tip has the next budget iPhone tip to be called iPhone SE plus 5G, but you might want to pull any excitement, of course. The rendered images of the iPhone SE 3 has popped up based on leaks. These have teased a budget iPhone that's really got our attention. So iPhone SE 3 release date rumors. It's slanted for release in early 2022. So it's pretty cool. Of course, the iPhone SE 3 will be revealed at the next big Apple event. So that's pretty cool. Likely to be virtual showcase. Of course, they're doing everything virtual thanks to the big C. You know what I mean? But it is rumored to come out in pretty soon, which is really nice. Early 2022. It says Apple plans to launch yet another new iPhone SE model in 2023, and this one could have a larger display. I think that's what everybody's waiting for, honestly. Me personally, if I have the iPhone SE, the first one, I probably would upgrade to like a 13 or a 12 or something with a bigger screen. But people that don't mind the smaller screen, they probably want to stick with iPhone SE and wait for a bigger display. It says we just recently got 2 new reports about the iPhone SE 3's possible release date window. Ross Young claims that Apple will start production for the display panels in February. Wow. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, it's basically supposed to come out in like the first quarter of 2022 or so. Or maybe towards early second quarter. So here's the potential price. Of course, it says they don't know much about the price right now, but Apple, I believe, or they think that it's going to go for that $399 price I was talking about, like the iPhone SE, and that it's a price to perform ratio that makes Apple's current model so appealing for a lot of people. And that's true. For $400, like I said, it's going to be really hard to beat that price point and the specs that you get on it, especially if you're trying to get an Android. It'll be kind of dumb if Apple bumped up the price of that to like maybe $450 or $500. I mean, that'd be really dumb for them to do that, you know what I mean? But it's Apple, so who knows? Says then again, things could be set for the Pixel 4a's $349 price tag, but Google didn't hesitate to bump the Pixel 5a to $449. What was I telling you? When it came time to add 5G connectivity and an ultra-wide camera lens. So like I said, Google, for their 5a, instead of them keeping the $349 price, they bumped it up a whole $100, guys. And yeah, let's just say maybe that's why it doesn't sell so hot like iPhone. Since one leaker has the iPhone SE price at $3,499 yuan, which converts to 542. That seems steep to us, and such currency conversions are rarely accurate. That is true. There's no way I think anybody would, in the right mind, buy the iPhone SE 3 at $542. At that price, you could definitely get like an 11, a 12, or something like that. Yeah. Let's see any more. It says, with only 2 models of the iPhone SE ever released, Apple hasn't had to put too much effort basically in one version from another. That could change with iPhone SE 3. It says display analyst Ross Young has claimed that the next budget iPhone will be called the iPhone SE plus 5G, and noted it will stick with a 4.7-inch panel. That's pretty small. Then, somewhat oddly, Young has claimed that we can expect to see the actual iPhone SE 3 arrive some should be time in 2023 or 2024, which is sporting a 5.7-inch display. That would be a lot better, honestly. So, of course, the specs on it is talking about the A15 Bionic chip, like we were talking about, guys, which, of course, is the same one on iPhone 13. Of course, the iPhone SE 2020 had the A13, which was the same one as an iPhone 11, and that was really good. Like I said, it's a really good phone. So you see, here's how big the phone is to your hand. I mean, both your fingers take up more than half of the screen, so that's one thing to look at. Here's the possible design. Looks just like the iPhone SE 2020, but it looks like you're looking at the display, you're getting more screen. I mean, if you think about it, if that was the phone, you would get more screen versus this just looks like an iPhone 8. So it says bad news is that the iPhone SE 3 could sport the same design as the current iPhone SE. That would be a 4.7-inch display, chunky bezels, and a physical Touch ID button. But like I said, if they did something like this, they could have pushed it out to a 5.7-inch, which I believe is on the Mini. That would be definitely a good idea. But of course, then maybe the Mini wouldn't sell as much. So we know that phone barely sells. Whoa, look at these crazy designs. Now we're just talking about, ooh, here we go, the camera. That's an important thing. So the iPhone SE 3 cameras, it says iPhone SE 2020 took good looking photos thanks to Apple's, photography. It packs only a single lens. We'd like to see them add an ultra wide lens on the iPhone SE 3, but who knows? Ooh, here's the battery. This is probably what we see. So it says a notable weakness. Sorry, it's kind of early in the morning. Weakness for the iPhone SE was the battery life. What was I telling you? In Tom's Guide battery life test, iPhone SE managed 9 hours and 18 minutes, and that was over 4G. Unfortunately, the A15 Bionic processor should help the iPhone SE be more efficient, and we're hoping Apple is also able to squeeze in a larger battery. I am too. So, of course, it's going to have 5G. It's going to be real cheap. OLED display and higher resolution. It says the LCD on the iPhone SE 2020 is fine, but we'd like to see a better OLED display on the iPhone SE 3. Of course, it's about that time. The display, I mean, even though it had LCD display on the 2020 version, I mean, the screen is small, guys. You don't really have to worry too much about it. The larger the screen, the more pixels you're going to notice if the pixel resolution is lower. So with it having a small screen, I believe they can get away with that. It says better battery life. Like we said above, the battery life on the SE 2020 is just alright. It doesn't hit the 10-hour mark average that we'd like to see in our battery test, but it could go through a day with light to medium use. I mean, I was charging my SE, guys, a couple times a day, so yeah. But that's about it. Don't want to make this video too long, but what do you guys think about the iPhone SE 2020? Like I said, shout outs to Tom's Guides. Really, really cool. So check them out, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And are you going to get this phone? Are you excited? And do you think it's going to come out on prepaid? Let me know.